Hello, good evening. How are you tonight? I pray that tonight shall be awesome and what we're going to share today. But I believe you've had a wonderful beginning of the week. And so I wish you all the best. Now, today I'm here on Shekinah Online. And I want to thank you, first of all, for joining me as I present to you another topic, a new series today. Now, before I go further today, I just want to make this profound invitation for our upcoming leadership and ministerial program. This is a program that we're going to issue certificates, exchange a lot of ideas. How do we progress in our leadership and other areas, such as even if you're a minister or in your business. And so I want to invite you specially to join us on this program for leaders and potential ministers. Now, we're going to look at various subjects in this program. It's a package for 3 days, and I've got wonderful facilitators. I'm going to have Dr. Emmanuel Movere, is a well-known international coach and business advisor. We're going to have Bose Adebayo from Nigeria. We're going to have Apostle Inamdi Ezemo. And also, we're going to have Krista Merrin, a registered counselor, well experienced, and myself going to be in that program with you by the grace of God. So I want to just say, join us in this program that will be coming up next month. All the details are on the screen, on the right-hand side of the screen. And if I may just expand it, there is registration involved, but I've got a good news for you who is regular on this program. There's a business person who is ready to sponsor about 5 people. And if you can just send your details, but the business person says they will meet you halfway. They will give you a scholarship up to 50%. So if you want to participate, I'm still seeking from other business sectors and companies that can help people to be in this program, because the studies and what you're going to learn in this program, they are kinds of topics that are obtainable in higher institutions and business schools, and we want to make it affordable for you below what we have put for registration. And 5 people have been chosen, selected, not registered, but offered by a business person to give 50% discount or scholarship to 5 people. So I want you to send me your details if you want to participate. I'm just announcing this at the earlier time of this broadcast. And my number, of course, if you know, it's 082-456-9264. And you can send me your details, and then I will put you down. Thank you so much. May God bless you tonight. Now, we're going to look at some new topics tonight, which I have just put together for you and for your benefit, because we are such in a time that many things are happening in the realm and the circle of leadership. Leaders are losing their moral quality, and the leaders are being questioned due to certain things we see and we hear. And so, what are those things that have led to questionable leadership? And it's all around the character, the psychopathic behaviors. And I want to share some lessons around this. And that is the awareness of your dark side. And that's the series that I want to be dealing with in the next few weeks. And I want to believe that this will really help someone. Now, the human behaviors, as social animal as humans are, is a phenomenon that has been studied biologically by science, neurosciences, psychologists. They've studied what is responsible for certain behaviors or behavioral patterns. And they've come up with a whole lot of report and research. Many are still going on, empirical research. And they have succeeded to a large extent to identify certain behaviors, to explain human patterns or behavioral tendencies. Now, in social psychology, a certain subconscious behaviors have been classified as dark side. The word dark side is it's a sort of acronym for unacceptable behaviors, a sort of narcissism, aggression, and other shameful attitudes that diminishes the quality of a leader. And you find out that some of the dark side of a leader is what a leader may not speak about. Some of the dark side of a leader is what really he's dealing with, but it's not spoken. And then the other side of it is some behavioral patterns, which of course, it has been growing along unrestrained with a leader. And then when they get to the top of the ladder, it starts to manifest. And when we're talking about ladder today, or when we're talking about leadership, it's not gender based. It can be female or male, or male. And so we're talking about this dark side that affects us as leaders if we have not conquered it, because it's brings itself out. Indeed, a dark side of a personality, male or female, often they are being cultivated from early life on parallel with career development, achievements in life, and it starts to grow without being restrained. However, the character has become a tool as well for some personalities, some leaders. They use this dark side to achieve their aims. They use it as a power, but then it's short-lived with its bitter consequences or bitter ends. So in this class, I want to emphasize that we must become aware of certain dark side as human, for no one is perfect. But then if we develop the power and we have the determination to suppress what we have discovered as dark side, we will surely have a satisfactory leadership, a satisfactory relationship and marriage or business partnership. So I want to emphasize this awareness of this dark side so that we become conscious of it and we're able to have it under control. And when we're able to have it under control, it helps all aspects of our life, from our homes, our churches, our businesses, or organizations where we are involved. So being aware of your dark side, it's a score, and it will help you to go further in all your endeavors. And that is what I have brought to you. So we shall look at the methods to suppress it as you climb the ladder of leadership, as you engage in relationship. Also to see how to avoid the triggers, because most human behaviors are triggered at certain points. Though they are subconscious, but they also get triggered. So you will know how to avoid the triggers of this dark side, particularly when you are in the moment of glory, a moment of being a leader or leading an organization. So those things must be conquered in order for you to be effective. The dark side is the negative character and destructive styles of a leader. That's how I can describe it. Is the negative character and destructive style of a leader. In other words, it produces a destructive leadership. Just as there is the bright side of true and effective leadership, there is also the dark side of the leadership. The aspect of a destructive leadership behavior. And this is perceived to be when you have a negative attitude towards your followers. It becomes destructive. Like using the same power of this dark side to drive revenue, to control the board, and and other aggressive growth that your business needs or your career. So what I'm trying to say is that the word dark side produces a destructive leadership. It has been said that it's a positive aspect of a leader because they bring this strength into the organization. They bring this strength into their marriage or whatsoever they do. Even in the church, they bring it to drive growth. So such aggression might become a manifestation of the dark side of the very personality. It may not necessarily mean applause. And then there has been so many literature that's been written about this, because when destructive leadership comes into organization, it drives the employee. It destructs the workforce, that it affects lives. It brings about so much of destruction rather than building up. So we are saying today that we need to become aware of certain traits of the dark side. We need to become aware of it, and so we can handle it. And we can see such traits that are in leaders, such as a psychological disorder or a psychopath. We see arrogance, a narcissistic power hungry of individuals, both at work and in the community or organization. So we need to become aware of this dark side in whichever way that it has been related to us or we have sensed it. So we're going to look at how do we get help? How do we get help? How do we find solution? What are the methods by which we will use to suppress the trigger, and at the same time to make adjustments to this power of dark side? Because people use it in different way to achieve their aims. Some other literature that I've also seen concerning the dark side, they also identify the dark side of leadership to be a loneliness at the top of the career or at the top ranking level. So you have to be aware that when we talk about the dark side of leadership, we're not just looking at the destructive aspect of it, but we have also seen that there are other implications, there are other circumstances, experiences at the top, which now becomes the dark side of such leader, and they do not talk about it. They die in silence. It contributes to poor mental health at the same time. So I'm just bringing this subject, particularly in preparation for our upcoming leadership and ministerial program, because we're going to be looking at trends of leadership. We're going to be looking at the changing patterns, some theoretical issues in leadership. And so we are saying today that you must be aware of your dark side as to be an effective and a true leader. Because without conquering your dark side, you may turn out to be an oppressor. You may turn out to be someone who operates, on his own frequency. Let me put it that way. So we're just looking at it. So you must be aware that at the top ranking position of leadership, it may mean a lonely place. The loneliness has been identified also as a dark side, that some leaders don't accept it, they don't talk about it. But loneliness is a dark side. It has been identified. How do you deal with this? The only way you can deal with this is as you rise to the top of your career, the top of your organization, you must bring people along with you. Because when you get to the top there, it becomes quiet for you. It becomes lonely, and it's a dark side. It's a dark side. So you need to bring people along with you, both the weak and the strong. You need to bring them along. And this has been identified. But carry people along, it might be a way to, overcome it. But I want you to be aware as you aim for the top, as you aim to be big and large and be at the top of your career, at the top of your ministry, leadership can be lonely. It's a dark side. So, to be aware of these flaws will help you to reach your goals and to become a true leader of your people, a true leader in your home, a true leader in your marriage, in your community. And having become aware of the dark side of your personality, you are able to also manage your relationship, because the dark side of a personality, when it's so toxic, it destroys relationship. You find out that from one relationship to the other, there is no stability. But when you conquer your dark side, your weak point, your character that destroys friendship, you are able to sustain friendship. Those are some of the flaws. The level of your anger, arrogance, or pride. These are dark side that you may not know. So you need to become aware of it as to tame it, as to overcome it at this level that you may be. So, because dark side of a personality, a leader particularly, is like a shadow. It follows you wherever you go. It follows you. You may change job, you may change location. Dark side is such that it follows those who have not conquered it, those who have not overcome it. And there are a lot of books that you can read on how you overcome your dark side. One of the books that I've read in the past, both in studies, that of Overcoming the Dark Side of Leadership by Gary McIntosh and Samuel Rimmer. I mean, it's a very big book that really, it's really dealt with the 5 areas of leadership that are, questionable in terms of the moral standard, the ethical standard. It really wrote quite a lot about it. So you can get it for yourself on Amazon. You can find out again some other research that has come out about destructive leaders through empirical research and meta-analysis of dark side of a leader or a destructive leader. So there are many available literature that can help you to understand this subject beyond this platform. Now, so we're looking at all the traits. So I was saying that dark side is like your shadow. Unless you change, you become aware of it, the same shadow follows you. Either you are changing jobs, you change relationship, even if you divorce and remarry, it doesn't remove the dark side unless you are aware of it, unless you acknowledge it as a challenge and you seek help, you seek the counsel, which we're going to talk about, before you can find stability. So dark side is such those negative aspect of anyone's life that hinders their growth, hinders their career progress, and hinders a whole lot of things. Some may have built big, but at the end of the day, when there is a dark side or a hidden sin, unethical behaviors, addictions, and habits, which has become part of that dark side, you find out that it catches up with them at the top of their career. And when they have built so big, yet there is a dark side that they have not conquered. And that is why I'm saying that the awareness of your dark side, this might be for someone, and we're going to be dealing with this subject. So unless you become aware of this dark side, and you will find stability, you will be set free, you will be delivered, because there's no how that you change. The dark side, like I said, is like a shadow. But again, we've also found out that people use charisma to cover up their dark side. But the thing about dark side is that it always leaks, it always leaves its mark. And so it may be the time for you to become fully aware and seek help. And seek help to overcome it. And this is as much that I want to talk about in this introduction. Now we're going to look at the traits. What are the traits? Perhaps because when we're talking about awareness, you may not know what I'm talking about, but when we start to describe the traits of this dark side, leadership, a destructive leadership, where we become to identify the traits. Perhaps you may find the same traits in your character, in your way of life, and you can handle it, you can curtail it. For today, the number one traits of dark side personality, or personality with dark side, is narcissism. Yeah, we're going to have to deal with this narcissism because the people look at it in various ways. It's such a wide word which covers a very negative character, self-centered character, a Greek, unnecessary, self-esteem, and your non-tolerance. It's a narcissism. And narcissistic personalities, they always seek power. They always seek to lead. That's the nature of narcissism. They always seek power. They always seek to lead. Yes, why the energy is so good, but it can be destructive. And that is what we want to deal with. So that is one of the traits. There is also bullying. There is also intimidation. Most people, leaders with dark side, they are overly sensitive. They are overly sensitive, suspicious, insecure. Those are one of the traits. I've mentioned arrogance. Another trait of dark side of a leader is non-tolerance of other opinions, non-tolerance of other people's rights. manipulation, creating fear in the mind of people, and all sorts. So we're going to look at some of these traits, and perhaps you may say, oh, I've noticed this, I've observed this about me, I may have to make some adjustment. And I want to believe that it will be possible for you to do that before it's too late. You can't build so much, and then there is the dark side that you have not conquered. You may not be able to conquer the future when it becomes bigger. And that's why this subject is coming. May God help us, and I thank you for listening. Thank you so much. Now, before you go again, I just want to remind you of our upcoming program. I've announced to those who heard me earlier that I've got businessman who is willing to sponsor 50% for about 5 people. So send me WhatsApp if you are interested. We can put your names down. They will meet you halfway in the cost to be in this program. We're going to issue certificates, and I can tell you, look at all the benefits. We're going to issue certificates. I believe that it's going to be a good personal development program for you and to prepare you for future. And I want to promise you that the facilitators are well experienced both in the marketplace, in spiritual work, and in their individual businesses and career. And they're going to really be a blessing to us. So I look forward to receiving you in this program. And I thank you so much. So I want to leave it there tonight, and we'll continue next week to expand this topic on the awareness of your dark side. Thank you so much. This is Abia Denigba. If you are hearing me for the first time, I'm from Shekinah Institute. I'm the director and lead facilitator. I look forward to see you once again, and have a wonderful week. Thank you. For God works all things for the good of them that love him, for the good of them who are called according to his purpose. Our address, physical services, 106 9th Road, King in Johannesburg. My number is +27 82 456 9264. You shall surely be blessed. May God bless you, and I look forward to receiving you. Amen.